Hi, I'm Lynda Hafner, top producing realtor at ERAQ Realty in Central Massachusetts. I've had a lot of buyers coming to me lately talking about the possibility of buying land and building since there are not many homes on the market. So I thought a good idea would be to discuss today 5 must-knows for any buyer who's thinking about buying land. So I know a lot of buyers that I've talked to over the years have spoken with me about the possibility of buying land, and there's a lot that they don't know. It's very different from trying to buy a single family home. So one of the first must-knows about buying land is, well, first of all, actually you need a buyer agent to help you out, because buying land is so complicated and there are so many little things that a normal person who has not been involved with many land transactions is going to be unaware of what could pop up. And a buyer agent will really protect your interests and help you and make sure that you're not buying land that you aren't able to do what you think you can do with it. So with that said, buyer agent is absolutely super important. And again, buyer agent doesn't cost you any money. They're free. The seller agent just splits the commission with the buyer agent. So it's nothing that it's going to cost you any extra, and it is going to protect you. So besides having a buyer agent, really want to talk to a lender and find out, can you even qualify for a loan for land only? Some banks won't even give you a loan for land. So this is something you want to investigate before you even go shopping. Find out what are the rates. They're going to be a lot more expensive. They're going to require more money down. There's a lot of things that you need to really have a background information about before you start shopping for land. Every lender out there has different programs, different loans, different affiliations. So it's really helpful if one of them turns you down, go to a couple of them, get a couple of different quotes, interest rates, things like that, and find out what their land programs are, if you qualify, and how much you need for a deposit, and then decide, do you have that money for a deposit? Ideally, an all cash buyer is best when it comes to land because of the complications with the land loans. But they're not impossible, but again, talk with the lender, get all that information, and then once you know that you have the amount of money that you need down, a lot of times it can be 20 to 50% cash down deposit on a land purchase. So if you don't have that amount of money, land may not be an option for you. The third thing that I consider a must-know has to do with the risks involved with buying land when it comes to wells and septics if there's not a town hookup. You, as the buyer, need to find out what are the costs involved in that, okay? Because that's going to affect how much house you can purchase. Well, first of all, you need to make sure that it has had a perk test. And once the perk test is done, then you can get an estimate for what a septic design and getting the work is. And really, you should know all of that before you actually close on the land, because you don't want to own the land and then find out it's a lot more money than you anticipated. These are some of the ways buyer agents will help you with the purchase of land. They will guide you into understanding what there is to know about land. If you decide to go it alone and you don't go directly to a builder. I know in a lot of other parts of the state, you can go directly to a builder and they already do all this for you. But in Massachusetts, a lot of people go and buy the land themselves and then get a builder to build the house for them, because builders don't like to take the risk and they don't have the homes readily available. So that's why we're even talking about this, because in my area, my neck of the woods, this is a very common thing for buyers. If there's no town well hookup available, you're going to have to drill your own well. And if there's ledge, there are extra costs involved in drilling that well. Based on how hard it is to access the water. That's another concern when you buy raw land. You know, it's definitely a lot riskier. I'm not discouraging you from buying land. I think buying land could be an appropriate way to build the home of your dreams, as long as you understand what's involved in advance. My goal is just to educate you so that you don't find that you're in the middle of something and, you know, oh, you didn't know about this and you didn't know about that. Better to educate yourself, know what you're getting into, and then when you go in with your eyes open, there are no surprises. You know what to expect. You know it's a lengthy process. That's one of the biggest things with buying land. I mean, when you buy raw land, it is a lengthy process. You know, you have to make sure that the perk test is done. You have to hire individual contractors, and then you have to get a builder, which is on my list. You know, finding the right builder and finding a builder who's even available to build your home is another big challenge right now, because builders are excessively busy. There is a huge surge right now, you know, of building, and they're tied up with projects, and they may not be available to build your home for, you know, 6 months. So these are all things to find out in advance. Talk to a builder before you even purchase the land. These are things that a buyer agent will help guide you through step by step and make each step of the process a little bit easier for you. Having a buyer agent who is really experienced with the purchasing and selling of land in new construction homes is critical. There's a lot of new agents out there who only know how to do pre-existing homes. It's a whole new world when you get into new construction and land, and if they don't have the experience, they're not going to be able to guide you accurately. So please make sure, whatever agent you choose, that you ask them, how many lots have you sold, you know, how many have you worked with buyers on, things like that. These are really important questions. And then they hopefully also will have connections of people who can, you know, do a perk test, or hopefully, really, it would be ideal if you wrote it into the offer and asked the seller of the land to pay for that. I usually do that for my buyers. I really feel it's an important thing. Not all sellers are going to agree to it, but I make it as a condition of the offer that it has to, you know, it doesn't make sense to purchase a piece of land if it doesn't have a good percolation test, which means that if there is no town sewer, you have to be able to at least put in a septic system. And if you can't do that, you can't build a house there. What value is that to you? So as a protection to my buyers, I always make that suggestion. And if the seller doesn't agree to it, then honestly, I wouldn't suggest even buying the land, because it's just too risky for you as a buyer. Another must know when buying land that I don't have on my board, but it involves knowing what the town setbacks are and whether there's enough space within that land to build the size home that you want in regards to the setbacks for the particular town you're putting in your offer. These are all things that you have to search within the town. Each town varies. They vary how much frontage they'll allow. They'll vary how much side boundaries are allowed. You know, these are all things that need to be taken into consideration with the particular house you want and the particular piece of land you want. And again, buyer agents can guide you with that. So the fifth must know when you are purchasing or considering purchasing land is this the right choice for you? Look at all that's involved in purchasing land. Evaluate each piece of land individually. Is this the right choice? Are you willing to be patient? Are you willing to go through these steps? Do you have the cash you need to do it? If so, it may be the great, perfect route for you, but it's a decision you need to make. And you and hopefully an educated buyer agent that can help you and guide you through the process so you make the best decision for yourself. I'm Lynda Hafner. Thanks so much for joining me. If you have any questions, if you want to reach out to me, please do. My phone number is 508-942-7923. I'm always eager to help. Have a great day. Thanks.